Welcome to the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Kale podcast.
Let's go. All right. Welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders coming to you from Columbia, South Carolina, where the folks from Game Day are on the way to watch the LSU Tigers. I don't know if they're bringing Mike the Tiger or not, but they will be playing my friend Carolina Jackpot, South Carolina Gamecock. Yeah, they're bringing them in here this weekend. Jackpot, what's going on, buddy?
Not much, Rob. How are you doing this evening?
My dog just came to see me, so that puts me in a good mood. My dog's hanging out here by my feet.
Was your dog elsewhere? His froze up.
Oh, a year old.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what froze up, buddy. You look good to me. I don't know what's going on over there, but my dog is doing his thing, man.
I'll get it.
Anyway, yeah. Hanging out with the dog this evening. We're going to pick some games tonight, Jackpot.
Sounds good.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. My daughter just walked in and Pluto is gone. He's like, screw it. I want to go see the girl. All right, let's bring up the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge Week 3 picks. And I wanted to challenge you with something, Jackpot. I was watching one of your videos.
Fireball said I'm nervous. What would I be nervous for?
I don't know.
Not fixing to have a colonoscopy. I mean, what is it?
Yeah, a little bit earlier. Anyway, Jackpot, I wanted to challenge you to something. I watched one of your videos the other day. You were talking about Josh Pate's Ramen Noodle Express.
Oh, the oodles of noodles. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe you and I could give two games apiece that would be kind of in the same theory, and we would take our 4 picks against whatever he's got and see who has a better percentage after 2 or 3 weeks. What do you think?
Okay.
All right, so we'll do that at the end of the night, and I should have messaged you about this earlier, but just something to think about. We'll pick our regular games here, and then I have a couple of games that I looked at. I watched your video late this evening, and I was like, you know what, this might be fun. We'll see what we come up with. And I'll bet the 2 games that I've got. You don't have to do whatever you want to do with yours, but that way we're putting our own stuff out there, and we'll go from there. And we'll put our money where our mouth is against the old oodles of noodles express, as you call it. All right, so let me bring up the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge here first. Here we go, Jackpot. First game.
Yeah, Schultz says UNC fans are obsessed over us calling ourselves Carolina. They get butthurt when we do it. Schultz comes up with some of the most random things.
Yeah.
Where?
I mean, his heart's in the right place, sir. All right, Jackpot.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
look at
there's a call in tonight, but we're going to do our picks first.
Yeah. All right, so a couple of little things here. There's a couple of about 3 or 4 of you that are sending me your picks via like Messenger on Facebook, and that's fine. Just remember, though, you have to submit your picks on this form. Otherwise, we have no way to document it, okay? And I know that sounds silly, but make sure you put your picks on this form.
Wait, somebody's like sending you the pics on Facebook Messenger and expecting you what, to fill the form out for them?
I don't know, Jackpot. I think I've explained to the two or three people that did it, hey, make sure you fill out the Google form because there's no way for me to keep up with all of it.
How many times have we went? Oh, I mean, my God, I went over this, so I was blue in the face.
Yeah. Well, look, when I get pissy about it, people say I'm an asshole. So I'm trying to be polite about this.
No, I mean you're not, because this is very simple. I mean, if you can hold down a job and operate a motor vehicle, and I dare say like make a house payment or something of that ilk, you can do this.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be polite, Jackpot. So make sure you submit your picks on the Google form.
What, being polite?
I'm not going to. There's no way for me to verify your picks, and I can't go with, hey, this guy sent me his picks via Messenger. That's not going to work. Okay, your picks have to be in the Google form because it goes into the database. That way, if there's any questions, we all have it there in one spot, and it's just the integrity of the contest. I don't think I'm asking too much there, right, Jackpot?
No, you're not. William says when Jackpot gets sad, he watches radio. Well, no, you put that in the wrong version. When I watch radio, I get sad.
Yeah.
Especially when his mama died.
Anyway, getting my new favorite sound clip for the show.
That's a peddling.
Lee Taylor says Jackpot drives around town looking for migrants eating pets. Look, I ain't even going to get into that. I got into an argument with an idiot Clemson fan on Twitter about that. Well, not about football, but about that. And Rob could probably guess who that might be. But yeah, fucking Mr. Libtard over there. I guess all that was just made up. You know, made up. That didn't happen. No. Anyway, let's get into some football.
But anyway, the big thing though, make sure you submit your picks on the Google form.
Yeah, please do it correctly.
Facebook Messenger. Just do it right. Also, if you don't get a message back, sometimes people put their email address in wrong. If you're a character off, like if I wrote my email address is rosesanders1979@gmail.com. If I wrote rosesanders1978@gmail.com, had a keystroke error because I have fat fucking fingers, then it's going to send an email to rosesanders1978@gmail.com.
Yeah, I asked him the other day, I said, hey, why I didn't get my form back? And he said, because you put your email address in, it's kale8660@aol.com. And that's the incorrect email address.
Well, and so I know that happens, and it happens every week, because when I fill out the score sheet and it sends everybody an email, I automatically get like 15 emails. This email address is not valid. This email address is not valid. So it happens to all of us. If you don't get your
standings, Rob, there's a bunch of ding-a-lings on there who filled out 1 week and just stopped.
Yep, that's the way they do it.
I mean, either that, or those people didn't even pay to begin with to get in the contest, because there's really no way for us to. I mean, anybody could like get in here and start picking. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, you can pick all year long if you hadn't paid your fee at the end of the year. When I check to see one, then guess what?
Ta-da! Well, anyway. So enough griping about that. First game of the week.
Imagine if somebody did that.
Yeah.
It'd be like the Bishop Sycamore of the Rob and Kale Show, Callaway's Pick'em contest.
Yep.
Picked
All right,
all
so-
year, won it, and didn't pay to get in.
Yep. Fuck you. All right. So first game jackpot is Boston College at Mizzou. Boston College is getting 16.5 points. They are a ranked team going to Mizzou jackpot. What do you think about this game?
Well, Mizzou has the number one defense and number one scoring defense in the country. They shut out two opponents. Now, I agree that Murray State team they played first week of the season was hot dog water. Terrible.
Yeah.
But they beat Buffalo last week 38-0. That's where our boy Pete Limbo coaches at. And they even commented on the Mazzodcast about how well coached that team was, and they were physical. And I think that shutting them out is actually that's making some kind of statement. Everybody really likes Boston College in this game. I don't think that I just don't think that Mizzou's actually flexed that muscle yet. I like the home favorite here. I think they're going to blow them out. I really do.
Yeah, well, this is one of my games that I really like this week, and I like Boston College, not because I don't like Mizzou, but simply because I think that Boston College is a little bit the Florida State game winning there. Florida State's not the very best team in the world. I get that. But Boston College has been consistent in what they've done in that their philosophy is we're going to run the ball and we're going to continue to run the ball. And I love teams that do that. The big thing is, will Mizzou and their linebackers or their defensive ends like Johnny Walker Jr. is one that sticks out to me. If he can get into the backfield a little bit and stuff up that run game, then it's going to be what you're saying may be true. But I think Boston College is going to run enough, and I think they'll cover that 16.5.
This game is going to tell us a lot about Mizzou. It's going to tell us whether that line where the under 9.5, was it 9.5 or 8.5 wins, whether their win total is, it was juiced to the under big time, and nobody can really understand why. Well, maybe this one's going to tell us a lot about that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Then the next game jackpot is I spelled Memphis wrong, so either even I make keystroke errors. Memphis at FSU. Memphis, one of the best G5 teams in the country.
How did you spell it, you ding-a-ling?
Memphis. If they don't cover like I think they're going to, I'm going to call them Mem shit. So,
Jerry King Lawler will come down here and slap the shit out of you.
I ain't worried about that geriatric. I'll slap the shit out of him.
He'll give you a fucking pile driver.
I ain't scared of that motherfucker. He's damn near 80 years old.
No,
I'll give him the old king backhand.
All that means is he's an older badass.
Maybe so. Jackpot, your thoughts on Florida State and Memphis, who, by the way, I tagged you in it on Twitter earlier. There's footage being released that they're playing with squirt guns in practice down at FSU this week. What a bunch of pussies. Did you see that when I sent you on Twitter?
I haven't, but I'll check it out.
I'm gonna pull it up while you give us your pick here because it's actually really funny. Go ahead.
I actually like Florida State to get right here. I think they win this game and cover that number. They have too much talent to keep farting upwind like they've been doing the past couple of weeks. So they had a week off to prepare for this game too, to get themselves right. I think they win here and cover.
I like Memphis. I probably would have picked Memphis earlier in the season too. Led by former
Memphis or Memphis.
Memphis. Anyway, hold on. I'm trying to find this. trying to find them playing with the squirt guns because it's actually
No, they ain't there's no way Florida State can't cover a 5.5 point spread against a group of 5 team at home. They should just mail it in if that's the case. But there's also the thing too. I don't know. Part of me wonders like this seems all just it's just a thrown together bunch of football players, a bunch of individuals, if you will. Yeah. And I mean, they're not making the playoffs now. They know that. They're very likely. Well, they're not. They're not winning the ACC now. They're very likely not making the ACC championship game unless they run the table and then some crazy shit happens in the conference on down the road. So, I mean,
there's old DJ Uiagalelei right there in practice.
Okay.
Taking snaps, and they're all just playing with squirt guns right behind him.
Is that players doing that or what?
Yes, I don't know who's doing it, but somebody's chasing somebody with a goddamn squirt gun.
That's not a player.
I don't know who it is. If it's not a player, what the fuck are these coaches doing?
Yeah, that's Jesus.
I mean, they're 0-2, jackpot. 0-2.
0-2, and
they're fucking kicking the dog out there on the practice field. Look at Uiagalelei. He's like, man, what a mess. So there you go. I had to share that. So there you go with that. They're out there playing in the whole thing. Let me bring back up our regular screen here.
You know, he's got to be questioning the decisions he made about 7 or 8 months ago.
That motherfucker, he needs to just I got Memphis. Jackpot's taking Florida State. Let's move on from this shithole game. Alabama's at Wisconsin.
Yeah, that should have been the better game there.
What, the Alabama-Wisconsin game?
No, the Florida State. Anything they're involved in should have been the shitter game.
Well, didn't we make a rule that – well, no, that's not true. I thought there was a rule you could only be on the shitter game like 3 times in a season, and we still got 10 games left.
No. I mean, UMass and UConn actually have carte blanche.
Yeah.
In fact, Duke and UConn were very close to being the shitter game for this week, but I mean, Duke actually won last week. It's actually 2-0. So, I mean, they might be ranked soon.
Alabama's at Wisconsin. Alabama is giving up 8.5. Wisconsin's 2-0. When I sit and look at it, I just think Alabama's just better. I mean,
Wisconsin's going to struggle. Wisconsin can't throw the ball. They've got a terrible quarterback. They've got a little bit of a run game, but I mean, it's going to be ineffective against Alabama. Alabama's won like their last 55 games against non-ranked or unranked opponents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. I don't understand either. What's up with Luke Fickell and like the offense? Like his philosophy and their seemed to be their MO at Cincinnati when he was the coach there was like they played smash mouth defense, but they also were a high scoring team that had a really balanced offense and like a really good offense. And now it's like, okay, his first year at Wisconsin, I understand he had to use some of the personnel that was there. But, I mean, we're in year 2 now. And it's still like poor man's version of Penn State football, a wet fart. So it's kind of like Luke Fickell didn't change Wisconsin football, or he didn't mold Wisconsin football into his own image. It's like Wisconsin football molded Luke Fickell into the Wisconsin image, if I'm making any sense here.
I mean, that's some psychology shit Jackpot hitting us with this evening, sir, and I appreciate it. I still think Alabama fucking throats them this weekend. So,
well, yeah, I do too. I don't know. I don't understand what. I think that program's always just going to be.
Biscuit says, "What the hell are you talking about? Come on, Biscuit." Right on with the ride, sir. He was making sense. Come on now.
Listen, they're just gonna. They're always. It's always destined to be a northern version of Iowa.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've got Alabama. Next up is Texas A&M at Florida. We shit on Florida all the time, but I don't think Texas A&M is very good, Jackpot. This is one of those weird games.
I'm not. I don't think so. See, so at least Florida has two quarterbacks. So he's going to start Graham Mertz. I guess he's healthy enough to go this week. So if Graham Mertz is not up to par, then they can yank him and put DJ Lagway in because he's now got game reps. He's got some game experience under his belt. And I think he'll be just fine if you insert him in there against A&M. I don't know that A&M has that. And Connor Wegman is not that guy. The guy's just not. He's not good. He's not very good. He hasn't impressed us at all this year, and he has a tendency to get hurt. That's happened the past two seasons. So, like, if they have to replace him in a pinch, I don't know really what they do. I just can't. I just don't see Florida losing two games in a row in the swamp.
He's what? You gave that stat. He's 10-2 in games in Gainesville, right?
Yes.
Yeah. They beat a Tennessee team they had no on paper they couldn't match up with last season.
Right, and they beat Utah the year before.
Right. So he brings. I mean, what are the two losses in Gainesville? One of them is to Alabama. I know that.
Miami.
One's to Alabama and one's to Miami. That's the two losses, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. I'm not very impressed.
Somebody Billy played Alabama.
I think so. I'm gonna look it up.
Dan Mullen played Alabama a few years ago, but I don't remember.
I'm pretty dumb. I'll look it up right now. But I'm still gonna take.
But didn't lose to Kentucky.
That's right. He lost to Kentucky at home. Remember, Kentucky went in there like week 1 and
Arkansas also. You know, he may have lost more than 3 games or 2 games. I don't know.
I'm more. It's too
close enough to 2. Damn it.
Yeah, it's 2 shit shows in my opinion.
It's a round 2.
And I said at the beginning of the season I didn't think the Gamecocks would beat A&M. I think you beat A&M. There you go with that. I mean, you play them at Williams-Brice. It's down the road.
There's no reason why we shouldn't beat them unless they're just vastly improved by that point.
They don't do anything that's really shockingly great to me. So I'm taking Florida at home plus the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take Florida in the points also in 2.
All right, West Virginia at Pitt, the backyard brawl, as it used to be called. West Virginia is a 4.5-point favorite on the road at Pitt. Which way you rolling there, Jackpot?
I think that's too many points. And, Pitt got a confidence-building win this past Saturday. They came from, 3 touchdowns down on the road at Cincinnati, and they won that game with a field goal at the end. So they got a little bit of a confidence booster there. Based off the way West Virginia looked week 1 against Penn State, I don't think that they offer a whole lot of resistance. I'm not really sure. I think the wrong team might be favored here in this spot. I'm going to lean the home underdog.
I'm rolling with Pitt. They play really well at home, even when they're not really good. And Narduzzi's a good coach, in my opinion. Kind of overlooked. Give me Pitt to take that game. I think they went outright. Oregon
outright, he said.
Damn right. Oregon and Oregon State. The Civil War, Jackpot. We're not supposed to call it that. But Oregon's a 20.5-point favorite there. This one's easy for me. I'm taking Oregon State, a plus 20.5, a lot of points at Oregon State. The two teams hate each other, and
Yeah,
Oregon hasn't set the world on fire for me.
Tempting to do, but when is when is Oregon finally going to snap out of their funk? Because this could be the week that they do that. How's Oregon State doing this year? By the way, the Beeve.
They're both 2-0, so I'm pulling up their schedule right now. Oregon State hasn't played anybody that's of great relevance, but let's see here. Oregon State, their schedule, they're from the dead Pac-12. They are 2-0. They opened up the season with a win over Idaho State, where they won 38-15. What's Idaho State's mascot, Jackpot? Any guesses?
I think it's the Bengals.
I think you might be right. And then they beat San Diego State 21-0 last week.
That's pretty impressive.
So,
San Diego State's decent. I guess I'm going to roll with the Beavers here too, man. That they got a nasty taste in their mouth. You know what I mean? Getting left out of a conference. I mean, So I think
they got to shake that
whole season with a big chip on their shoulder. So is Wazoo.
They got to shake that Uyunglele funk, man. I'm so bad with that. Anyway,
like AIDS, or is it just is it something you can?
It's worse than AIDS, man. It's like the
something topical for it, or
well, no, it's like the Derek Jeter herpes tree. It just keeps on going and going and going. Everybody from Jessica Alba to Justin Timberlake is a carrier of the herp from Derek Jeter. Go look that up on robandkaleshow.com, the herpes tree. It's there. Anyway, yeah, give me Oregon State plus 20.5. Next matchup is essentially, according to Las Vegas, a toss-up. UCF at TCU. UCF is getting 1.5 on the road.
I'm going to lean laying my points here with UCF on the road. TCU struggled with the mobile quarterback in week 1 in Stanford's Ashton Daniels.
Yep.
And, I think, KJ Jefferson, him, and this Harvey kid for UCF, they may light him up. I think they're going to struggle a little bit. I'm going to take the Central Florida Knights to cover that game on the road. I think they win outright.
Outright, he said, by God. I'm also taking UCF to win because I'm not impressed with TCU. Maryland at Virginia. Jackpot, when you and I were just little itty-bitty fellas running around watching the Jefferson Pilot games, we would sometimes get a Maryland and Virginia matchup when they played in the ACC. So kind of an ACC throwback weekend here with the Terps playing in Charlottesville. Which way you rolling with this game, Jackpot?
Yeah. What's the line on this in our contest?
Well, Maryland is a 2.5-point favorite in that matchup.
Give me the home underdog. Virginia has, I believe, covered 7 out of their last 10 games where they were an underdog, and they've won most of those outright. I like their little quarterback too. Yeah, and I'm not that impressed with Maryland, so I think this is revenge too, a revenge spot because they lost last year to Maryland. So I like the home team here, the home underdog.
Well, Virginia's 2-0 on the season. They beat the mighty Richmond Spiders 34-13. They also won at Wake Forest 31-30.
You don't just waltz into any stadium and lay the beat down on Richmond.
Yeah, if it were basketball season, it might hurt Jackpot's feelings a little bit there. But I also like Virginia at home plus the points. Tony Elliott's getting them right, man. Really is.
Yep.
All right, next matchup is UGA at Kentucky. Kentucky's a 23.5-point dog at home. I'm gonna bet Georgia until I can see something from Kentucky where they look decent, because they really haven't. Even if you go back and where the Gamecocks just beat the fuck out of them, but if you go back to the Southern Miss game, they didn't really look all that good there. Now the more and more I watch it, I'm going to take UGA minus 23.
How do you look bad winning 31-0 in 2.5 quarters of football?
I just think they didn't look like their wide receivers looked like they were running into each other, and what's his name should have had a pick six. It just didn't look. The more and more I look at it, I'm not cheapening the win from you. I'm just saying.
No, it's fine.
I don't think that Stoops gives a shit anymore. That's kind of where I'm at with that. So give me Georgia minus 23.5.
Yeah, I would like to pick Kentucky here because they have covered the last 4 matchups against Georgia in Lexington. But like you said, I mean, just seems apathetic. I mean, he's had some press conferences this week where he's kind of, he kind of called out he kind of blamed some shit on his players, and I don't know. I think this may be his last year. I think he may be on the way out the door. Anyway, Georgia, big.
Yep. And look, and this is not me shitting on the Gamecocks win over them, because when you went on the road in the SEC,
well, it doesn't matter. Georgia's going to beat the fuck out of everybody. So,
Well, but it's also, I think he's lost the locker room. So that's why, I'm trying to win the contest too here. I think he's lost the damn locker room. So, all right, Colorado at Colorado State. This is the Kale Hall shitter. Colorado State is at home, and they're getting 8.5, and I already called it. I think Colorado State wins outright. Give me outright win for Colorado State. So
I don't know about outright, but I like Colorado State too. Look, I like Oregon. I like their skill players. I like Travis Hunter. I think Shador needs them attitude adjustment. But he's still a really good player, elite talent. But I mean, it's the same old thing. They have no defense, and their lines of scrimmage are awful. And it's the first time since 1996, I believe, this summer. I found out when I was doing my research for this game that this game has been played in Fort Collins. So, those people they're going to want to put on a really, really good performance here at home. They're going to be focused, and I think they cover the number here. Wouldn't shock me to see them win it either.
I think they're going to win. Give me Colorado State. Colorado's rushed for, I think it's like 70 yards total on the season.
God,
on the ground. I mean, I'm gonna look it up. I mean, it's some stupid number like that. You look that up because it's a really, really stupid stat. They cannot rush the football.
Have you listened to? Well, I found this out. It was either on the call-in show or I can't remember where we were talking about it at with Uncle Lou. Because if you listen to him, it not only makes you smarter, it lowers your cholesterol. But anyway, he was talking about Shador Sanders, like Dion, like he won't let they won't let the marching band play the fight song anymore. If Shador scores a touchdown, because they want to play his rap song over the public addresses. What the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Let's just piss on all the Colorado won a national title at one point, and you can watch it in color. So it's not like it's insane. So, but let's just piss on those guys and not play the fucking alma mater or the fight song.
Let's pee on Cordell Stewart and Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah,
and what was his name? Rashawn Salam? Was that
Rashawn Salam? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Colorado they have 81 total rushing yards through 2 games. Jackpot.
My God.
81 total rushing yards.
That sounds
Now,
like some
so
South
they ran
Carolina numbers.
16 attempts for 22 yards against Nebraska. They had 59 yards against. I'm trying to see how many carries they had against North Dakota State. So they had 16 attempts there. Let me get this other one on here. So they're not even trying to run the ball anymore. They're just like, fuck it. Why should we bother? But then they had, they had 23 in this one. So they have 39 attempts for 81 yards. That's just over 2 yards an attempt. They do not rush the ball at all. Colorado State, I think, is going to beat them. I really do. I'll write it down. We'll see what
Yeah, I
happens.
mean, there's some bad blood there too from last year's matchup. I mean, I think that coach and Dion had some words, and it was kind of an ugly situation there. And that was when Colorado was 2-0, and they about shit the bed there. That's when I knew. I was like, yeah. I'm like, something's wrong with this bunch.
Anyway, let's roll on here. The marquee matchup here for Jackpot, LSU plays at South Carolina. The matchup of the game, in my opinion, is the LSU offense, who has not given up a sack all season, against the South Carolina defensive line, who has pretty much grounded people to a fucking pulp. Who's going to win that setup might determine the way the game goes. But South Carolina's getting 7 at home in our contest, Jackpot.
Yeah. I already put a video out on this anyway. I think LSU covers that number. I mean, we haven't faced a good. It's a battle of neither team. I don't think. Well, I'm kind of taking a little bit off of Mr. Ramen Noodles here, Josh Pate, with the. Hold on, since I'm using some of his info, let me do the paper pop. But seriously, though, I mean, neither one of them can really run the football, so that means we're going to be throwing the football, and I mean, quarterback wise, I mean, they're just better than we are. And now, if there's some really bad weather there and it forces you to kind of wet fart that game up, that can play into the Gamecocks' favor. But I'm not banking on that. I'm not really banking on that. And this I mean, it's just not. I just don't think it's a good matchup. And this has nothing to do with game days here and. Well, every time we have a big win, we always have a letdown. We always do this, yada yada yada. It's not situational. It's functional. I just don't think that. I don't think it's a good matchup. So.
Yeah, well, my big thing with South Carolina is that their offense isn't. It's just not very good, and I don't think that they're going to get shamed like Kentucky was shamed last week. But I do think they dropped this game probably 27-10, something like that. Just because I think Nussmeier's a better quarterback than Sellers, and Sellers may end up being a better quarterback eventually, but right now he's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, there was a tremendous progression in him from week 1 to week 2, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like I think I said this. I think
week 1 he looked clueless. Let's call it. He looked like shit. Week 1, he looked like shit, and he didn't look like shit to me last week. I mean, there were definitely some opportunities for improvement, but. He looked much improved.
So, anyway, I think that I'm going to take South Carolina to drop that game, LSU to cover. So there you go. Someone asked if we both picked Colorado State, and yes, we did. Give me LSU -7 there. Go ahead and submit my stuff now.
Tom Reed said, Kentucky is fixing to be shamed on a whole different level this week.
Well, to be honest with you. All right, Jackpot, have you got your 2 games that you like? We're going to put ours up against the Oodles of Noodles Express here. You got your 2 games that you like that you're going to bet on? You want to talk about that? Or
I can't really bet these. I can't bet these with those lines because, the lines that you get from FanDuel or Bet Now or Bet EDU or whatever, whichever one you choose to do it on, are different than those. But
just the line that you will bet, just go with that, and then we'll go from there. That's the easiest way to do it.
I like Alabama to cover, and I like Alabama to cover, and I think I like Florida State to cover. I really do. I don't. Okay. I just don't trust the Group of 5 team.
So my 2 are Boston College and Coastal. So Boston College plus 16.5. Yep. And Coastal is.
Coastal's not even in the contest.
Are you telling me we have to pick from the contest? Okay, I can do that.
No. Okay. In that case, I don't want to do those 2 fucking games, or whichever one. What? No, I changed my mind. I like. Excuse me. And can we do a Thursday game?
You do it whatever you want. Just your picks.
I'm taking Texas State to cover, and that would be on the money line because that game is a pick 'em. So I'm taking Texas State at home, and I'm also taking. I'm taking Georgia State at home to cover against Vanderbilt.
All right, and I think the line on that one is at 10.5.
10.5, and it would not shock me if Georgia State won that thing outright because I don't think that Vanderbilt's not going undefeated. Okay, and it might be time. The party might be over, and it just looks like a place where it's ripe for an upset. So, anyway, Georgia State to cover, and who did I say? Texas State outright over Arizona State tomorrow night.
All right, well, I'm going with Coastal Carolina minus 17.5 on the road at Temple, and I also like Boston College plus 16.5 at Mizzou.
So I also would like to add. I won't add this one. You can throw those other 2 up there, but I also would throw as like a sure one in there. I would throw Virginia in that mix too.
Yeah. Lisa asked if you're taking LSU. Yes, you are. Yes, he is. So there you go with that.
Yep.
So anyway, so there's our lockdown picks there. Jackpot's got Texas State and who was the other Jackpot? Texas State and Georgia State.
And Georgia State.
Texas State, Georgia State. I got Coastal and Boston College. So there's
Coastal's all it gets. How much is Coastal against Temple?
They're giving up 17.5.
Oh God.
Temple is fucking terrible. Yeah. So we're putting out I want to show people that what you were saying about the Oodles of Noodles Express is probably true. I think for
North Carolina fucked me on my sure thing, my lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels pick this past week by giving up a touchdown to old Biff Poggi's team there late in the 4th quarter, or that would have hit.
Yeah.
Damn it. I will not bet on those sorry motherfuckers again. I will not. They just don't. They don't inspire shit. They don't. All they want, they fuck around and they fuck your season up, kind of like they did with the Gamecocks last year. They're like, hey, and then they run off in the corner, and then they proceed to just shit down the back of their leg all year long.
Yeah,
They're just
I'm with
terrible.
you.
They're terrible.
So anyway, they don't put on a good show. Let's leave it at that.
That's right.
So that's our locks. We'll see how our locks do against the Oodles of Noodles Express, as Jackpot calls it. And we'll do it over a 3-week stretch just to see where we are. You know. So we'll see where we go from here. We'll put the link out here, Jackpot. If people want to get
says, what's Kentucky's season this year? Huh?
Is he high?
I don't know. They could be.
There's the link if you want to join the
Mr.
show.
Joker says Mac can't recruit. It's not that Mac can't recruit. It's Mac won't recruit. Octavian says they want Glenn Schumann. No, that Schulman. No. You have a coach right now. What was it they said on the Mazodcast about him? It had me laughing. They were talking about Billy Napier. They said, Florida said, how about next time, how about not hiring a coach who looks like a state trooper?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. He kind of does.
It absolutely does.
All right, so there's the link if you would like to join the program. Have at it as we get some calls in this evening. Quick note here. You people down there with Hurricane Francine, good luck down there in New Orleans, man. Holy shit. As they're taking on a Category 1 storm right now.
Is a Category 1 the worst, or is that the mildest?
That's the mildest, but still, I mean, it's a fucking hurricane.
I didn't know, damn it. Don't get hostile.
No, I wasn't getting hostile. I'm just saying it's still a hurricane. That's all.
Well, okay. Well, yes. And New Orleans is prone to flood anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I couldn't live there. I couldn't do it, man. Just knowing that it might come a good rain one night, and I wake up and my car's underwater.
Yeah, I was stationed there for a bit, and it wasn't bad, but I mean, the weather's just different down there. I mean, it really is. So
different how?
Different in that it rains, shit floods. I mean, it's weird. It's weird the way shit is down there. Everything it's like we're dealing with. It's very hot and muggy. And my best example of that is sort of like it is here in some effects where it gets really hot in the summertime, right? And my boat was stationed down there, and I had to like paint shit on it all the time. So it was a race every day to get sanded down what you wanted and then primed, because then you could come back later and paint it if it rained after it dried. But if you just were sanding and all of a sudden it would rain really, really hard, then you get flash rust, and then you have to go back and re-sand shit again. So you're just sanding shit all the time because it's a fucking monsoon every day at 4 o'clock with a big ass thunderstorm. That's how it felt anyway. And then it's humid as fuck. And it was just, fuck it. I mean, that's the one thing I was like, ugh. It was always hot. And
I remember when I used to watch the show Swamp People, I know it rained all the time.
Yeah, it does rain a bit. So, but I don't know. The salt water, very good there, David. There you go, Randall backing me up. This is one of the most humid places in the country. Literally, you walk to your car, and you're fucking just sweaty as fuck. It's just like, God damn.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, here's the number for calls if you want to get in. You want to talk about the game this weekend? Have at it. Gamecock fans are on fire. With after their win over Kentucky, and they have every right to
Some
be.
of them need. I hate to be like an old curmudgeon or whatever, but some of them need to pump the brakes a little bit. Really do.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
There's Schultz. Welcome to the program.
I just wanted to say that I knew Napier was going to be a bust. I knew he'd be terrible.
How'd you know that?
Well, you remember that that App State game when he caught? No, you wouldn't remember. Why the hell am I even asking that question? So yeah, against App State back
No,
in
I
2020.
remember I remember the App State game where he had issues with the with timeouts and all that shit. I remember that.
He made the quarterback on a third down run into the end zone for a safety just so he could get better field position to punt the ball.
Yeah.
It was an awful play, and that's what cost him. That's what cost him the South Carolina job, because the next night after that happened, we hired Beamer, and he kind of tried to take his name out of the running last minute to try to make it look like he rejected us, but we all know what actually happened. At that point, we knew he wasn't going to get it.
I was hoping, as a Clemson fan, that they would bring Napier in here after watching that bullshit from that App State game. So you're right about that. And I remember the comrade talking about, Billy Ball coming to Columbia. And I'm like, please bring that fucking idiot here.
I didn't want him even before then. I didn't
That
want him
knows
even
what I'm talking
before
about.
then.
The comrade literally almost jerked himself off on the show talking about Billy Ball, Billy Ball coming to Columbia. And I'm like,
Well, I don't know. If you
No, the
listen to
comrade
him
did that.
talk,
I gotta
listen
find
to
out.
him talk. I mean, they say like that he's like really smart and he studies these plays all the time, and he's just like really just detail oriented and all this. But I don't know. I mean, that doesn't mean you can teach it to somebody else. And if you listen to him, like just give a press conference or what, he just does not inspire like me to want to go run through a wall. You know what I mean?
But I knew since he was a former assistant for Dabo and Dabo fired him, that was another reason I didn't want him, because I thought, well, shoot, Clemson's going to use that against us and try to say.
Yeah, well, he had to do something because he was about to get fired himself that year. So he had a losing record in 2010. He needed to make some changes. That's when he brought Chad Morris in.
But I thought Clemson would use that against us if we had hired him, and also the fact his team lost at home to
look,
Coastal.
the Clemson fans that know things were like, please hire this dumb fuck, so we'll have plenty of time to laugh at you.
Yeah,
So,
you're right, Rob. And
that's the way that it is. That's why I laugh at the
from the beginning.
comrade. He comes on he was big on, he loved Muschamp. Oh my God, he loved Muschamp. Muschamp, arr! But he was jacking that dick hard for fucking Napier. Oh, he wanted some Billy Ball so bad.
Well, the media loved Napier. I mean, all I heard was Billy Napier this, Billy Napier that, and I got so sick and tired of it. People were saying he was going to be the next freaking Nick Saban. I got so sick to death of it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That coach from Wake Forest would have been a better choice than him.
Absolutely. He's underrated in my opinion. He works with less, and he's at a program where it's hard to win, and he's been able to put up, winning seasons there. He's led them to the ACC championship, won them 11 games. I'm surprised other schools don't try to poach him away.
Well, he's not. He's just. I mean, he's in a bad spot. Like, anybody good that he develops is going to get poached.
Yeah.
From the transfer portal. If you saw him Friday night, Justice Ellison, the running back for Indiana, scored a couple of touchdowns. That's a Wake Forest guy.
Yeah, they've been having players get poached from the portal before everyone else started having issues with it. I've noticed. Like, I remember we even poached a player from them one year. I forgot what his name was. I think he was some running back. I don't know if you remember Jackpot. Do you remember?
Who was it now?
I don't even remember the guy's name. That's the thing, that we poached one of their running backs coming off the 21 season.
Yeah.
Who even was it?
Christian Beal Smith.
Did he even end up playing? I haven't heard that name in a long time now.
Yeah, he played a little bit. He scored a couple of touchdowns.
Well, why did he leave there to come to Carolina if he's not even the starter? Well, I guess he's playing, so I guess that's all that matters. He's getting in.
Well, he's been gone a couple of years. He's graduated.
Oh, he did? Oh, shoot, I didn't know that. But no, I remember they had that quarterback that one year. They had I forget what his name is. He got poached. But I'm just surprised people don't try to poach Dave Clawson, their head coach. And if Beamer doesn't work out, that's the guy I want.
You want to know why? I think we talked about that. He's too fucking smart for the fan bases. You watch one of his press conferences, he is a nerd, but he's a football nerd. I would love to see that guy with Florida's team that they have now. And if he's able to implement the system that he wants and they would be a fucking problem. But he's too smart for the fan base, and dum-dums to be like, they're picking their nose and eating their boogers while he's up there talking football circles around them. That's part of the fucking problem. You have dumb fuck fan bases who
Where did that come from?
I'm just being honest here. We try to be honest on this program, sir. That's why they all bitch about Napier looking like a diseased highway patrolman from a cranked Florida town. But that's what you wanted. You wanted a guy that we're gonna play smash mouth football, and they're like,
that looks all rough and
we're
aggressive.
going to win the title. And fucking Comrade's done nutted a cum cookie on his nose 8 times, dreaming of Billy Ball in Columbia. But then when those dopes get here, they're not worth a fuck. But you go to Wake Forest, and the guy's taking fucking, 5'6" motherfuckers and turn them into great wide receivers with horrible fucking looking offensive lines, and they win games. They're fucking competitive, and I'll tell you how competitive they are. Clemson scheduled certain teams on their schedule that mimicked Wake Forest's offense just so they could have somewhat of a scrimmage to play Wake Forest. That's an absolute fact. They did the same shit with Georgia Tech and Paul Johnson. The same thing.
Triple option. I remember that. Triple option.
I mean, seriously, that's what
that's why
happens.
we scheduled the Citadel for the same reason, but so we fought against the Citadel, so we couldn't play Georgia Tech.
Yeah, the triple option always killed us because we never saw it.
I love you, Jackpot.
Well, we didn't get the chance to play Paul Johnson. We wouldn't let us do it because we lost to the Citadel. Hey, they were supposed to be the test. We failed the test.
I'll see y'all boys.
Yeah. There you go. Well, the Citadel came to Columbia. You know what happened?
It's peddling.
That's exactly right. Let's go with Billy. Billy, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I just wanted to.
I was about to say, are you going to do smoke signal and talk to us? You have to read the smoke signals. Tennessee will win. You blow up a big, long piece of smoke. It's your quarterback.
Cover.
It's Nico, long and skinny.
I want to know what Christopher Adam bought for lunch Monday with my lunch money.
I don't know.
No, I wanted to go back to Jackpot. People getting on his case about being he's not being negative. He's been pragmatic about this whole deal. And like he says, slow your roll. It's you can't take W's away, but then, Sellers is young, blah, blah, blah. But until his QBR rating gets up above 15 or 16, and you got to have more offense. If they do less than 300 yards against offense, LSU.
To be fair, what the Kentucky quarterback's QBR rating from the South Carolina game was 1.6. So his is much better than that.
Sellers was number 15 at 30.3. At 30.3.
Well,
with the W.
What's his name? I forgot his name. They killed him.
Vandergrift.
Vandergrift's
No.
was 1.6 for the South Carolina game.
man.
1.6.
But I need you to put something on the bookshelf accountability. I said it on Rooster Show and got laughed off the show.
Okay.
If Northern Illinois University wins their conference, the MAC, and Notre Dame wins out, Notre Dame will be in the college football playoff. Book it.
Oh, you're exactly right, because
Oh,
they
I got
also
laughed
Northern
out of
Illinois also has to. No, what are they? Then I'm surprised at Rooster. They will be. They're already number 24 in the ranking in the AP poll, so
There
they're
you go.
already setting that up. If they beat NC State, which is their other Power 4,
That's a good one.
Power 4, Power 5 opponent, and they win the MAC. And you got a better chance of them beating NC State and winning the MAC than you do Notre Dame winning out. But I'm just saying, you told me to bet on one or the other. I'd bet on NIU over Notre Dame.
They will
I
find
don't think Notre Dame's going to beat Southern Cal. Not at this
the
point.
committee will find a way to put, and that was the justification they were saying, because Southern Cal barely beat LSU or whatever. You can't go by that. You know, this stuff, 10 years ago, we beat them on the road. You can't go by that crap. You know,
I'm not even sure Notre Dame sweeps their normal trifecta of the service academies this year.
Navy
I
looked
don't
good.
think they play. But what I'm saying is
Christopher,
the committee
hold
will
on.
find a way.
Christopher,
To
what
get
did you buy for lunch with Billy's money?
Go again.
What'd you buy?
Did you
Just
get
tell us what
large?
you bought.
I had
Not a long
Arby's,
story.
man.
What did you have?
Did you
I
go
had
large?
Arby's. I was
Did
out
you
in the
go
middle of
large?
nowhere. Yeah.
Hope you went
shit.
large.
Billy, I wore a T-shirt that said your name on it. Billy bought me lunch.
Of course you did.
All right, did that make you happy?
Billy
Sure. There
bought
you
me
go.
lunch. Yeah.
And as far as Florida's new head coach, don't be surprised. I already said it
Dude.
the other day. If it comes from Western Carolina, Kerwin Bell, he was a
No,
quarterback
and
here in the late '80s. He's a favorite son down there, he's
And
very
in all seriousness, well, you know, Stoops. I guess I would think Stoops in Kentucky, with everything that happened, do you think Stoops would be interested in trying to apply for Florida if Napier?
Why
gets
would they
fired?
want him? He's a
They
loser.
not no. He's
He ain't going to
the
Kentucky. He
shine
ain't
is
going to
worn
Florida.
off that baked potato.
I was just asking. It wasn't a dumb question. I just,
No.
thought.
Why would they hire him?
I think he might win more games than Napier this year.
Well,
I think Eli Drinkowitz would be a better candidate.
Well,
Yeah,
you got to think
probably.
about the expectation stuff. It's just like
Well,
Kiffin. He's fine where he's at. You get 8
It's-
wins at Ole
exactly.
Miss, and those
Kiffin's
fans
not
are
leaving.
happy. He's
I
not
agree with
leaving
you.
there.
Keeping, yeah, he's not leaving. And no, Jackpot, I'm not high. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I had a question. What I meant to say
Jackpot
was,
didn't ask if you were high. I asked if you were high. Because it
I'm
sounded
sorry,
like you
Rob.
were fucking
No, I'm
high.
not high. I hope you win
thought
your
you
bye
took-
week.
I thought you took Billy's $20 and skipped lunch and went and bought
You
you a
don't think they
bag.
dropped the Shane
Yeah,
Beamer, do you?
you're right. I went and bought me a doobie. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me just face the facts. You know what I mean? Today was
How's
the
that
day.
new parole officer working out for you, by the way?
Oh,
Look,
Billy, go to hell. So
I gotta give credit to Billy. That is the ultimate fucking troll. I don't need your money. Go and buy
I
yourself
know.
lunch.
You know what?
sir.
Go buy
some
yourself
lunch.
lunch.
Go buy yourself some lunch.
Hey, in all honesty,
Yeah,
I did
buy
my
lunch.
super chat. I did what they asked me to do. I'm sorry. I picked Tennessee over NC State, and I look like a loser. I'm sorry. I thought NC State was going to be better, and then I saw the first game, and I was like, well, I'm kind of fucked now.
No,
ain't I?
you didn't think NC State was going to be better. You couldn't pick out NC State's coach out of a fucking mugshot line. All you
lost
were
that
thinking
$20 to spite yourself is what you
Tennessee.
did.
All right. We'll
Fuck
be honest. I just
Tennessee,
like to
fuck
spark up the
Tennessee
Tennessee
forever.
fans. I'm sorry. I like to
Well-
spark
Yeah, I
the
mean,
Tennessee fans
let's
up.
just be honest with each other here, man. You ain't got to come with no nonsense.
Rob, I still have Carolina beating
No.
y'all. I'm not gonna fold on that. But not to get into that
Well,
because
then
that's
don't.
later on this season.
How many
I
days
do
is
have a
it?
question. I don't know this, so I'm asking. Does anybody know the stats on how LSU responds to a team scoring first? I'm just trying to, look at the stats because
I don't know.
Kentucky statistics showed that they are not a comeback team.
So you wait a minute. You think that because South Carolina scored first that
Uh,
was the
No, look,
conditioning part?
stats matter somewhat. All right, and it's a away game.
That's a
I'm
little
still
deep.
look. LSU's offense is going to be passing, and it's going to come back. It's going to come down to our safeties, our DBs, and our linebackers, and it's going to be a tough matchup. But like I said before, I'm not picking against my Gamecocks. I still hold out hope. All right, and I'm going to.
Would you bet $1,000 on them?
No, but I bet 30. I bet $30 on them. All right, so we're gonna roll with that one.
What was it about North Carolina State you thought was going to beat Tennessee?
I just want to get
He
you
didn't
riled
even-
up. That's all.
He probably
So you
couldn't
lost
tell us where
20
NC
bucks.
State played their home game.
He lost 20
Come on
bucks.
now.
and
I
bet
know.
himself.
So, in all honesty, it's because where I work at right now, I live in Raleigh. So I was like, well, let me pick NC State. It is a Charlotte game. They say it's neutral, but maybe more NC State fans show out. But they look like garbage, and I turned that game off by halftime, and I knew I owed you money. All right.
There you go.
I knew you owed me money before they kicked off. What you live in
Let's not
Aiken?
be that harsh now.
You live in
McCough-
Aiken,
look.
South Carolina, and you work in Raleigh.
Look,
That's a commute,
No,
buddy.
no. So I was born in South Carolina. I moved to North Carolina when I joined the military. So, so I'm still a South Carolina boy.
Okay.
So no, I grew up in North Augusta. I don't know where y'all. You were Rob or Jackpot know where that's at.
Yeah, I do.
Right side of
That's
Aiken.
where Uncle Lou lives.
Oh,
Where?
are you serious?
Yeah,
North
he lives
Augusta?
in North Augusta.
Yeah, that's where most of my family lives. That's where I came from.
But you live in Raleigh now.
So if you know
No,
North
Uncle Lou
Augusta,
lives in Augusta.
so
Does-
if you know North Augusta and you know the high school there, I don't know if Jackpot or Rob, they had talent back in the day. I don't know why you don't hear many North Augusta kids getting recruited. Like their high school had serious talent when I was growing up.
I don't know.
I don't hear many people coming out of that school, but I'm telling you, they beat the brakes off other high schools in the area.
Oh, I know we played them in the playoffs one time when I was in high
Look at
school. They
Broccoli.
Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, the Yellow Jackets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Broccoli. Talking about
But,
Tennessee. Hey, Brock,
I mean,
you come over to Naylor Stadium to a real stadium. There should be about 104, 105,000 people there Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't
105,000 people and about 18.
I don't pull. I hate to say it, I would like to think that Klubnik might have found a rhythm with his last game against App State. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe
I'm gonna go in the camp of App State sucks because you don't need that long. Look, when Deshaun Watson went into a game at at Georgia, his first game of his career at Clemson, and he threw a fucking dart to Sharon Peak in the end zone, beating the shit out of the Georgia defense. We knew we had a fucking quarterback. When Trevor Lawrence came in and was throwing passes against Texas A&M, we knew we had a fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't have that warm, fuzzy feeling about Cade Klubnik. I don't. So we're just going to go with App State sucks a donkey dick.
No, I agree.
They have some serious
Terrible.
problems on the back end of that
They-
defense.
Christopher.
They were
Yeah.
terrible. But
Hold on, Christopher. I want you to be the defensive coordinator for LSU, and I want you to strategize this game Saturday. What do you got to do to stop South Carolina? You're the LSU defensive coordinator. What are you looking at?
you're gonna rush. You got to blitz. You blitz. You destroy them if they don't pick up the
Actually,
blitz. They have
I
a
don't
struggle.
think you do that. I think if I'm the defensive coordinator, what I would do is I would run a zone and try to make Sellers pick them apart.
Yeah.
Load the box and make him throw.
And because I think he settled down a little bit toward hanging out more in the box, or running on the outside and
Good
then
for
throwing
you,
that
sexy
way.
dog.
Right. I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Dog with a comment here. We need to box him up a shirt here. He says, Rob, Klubnik has better stats than Miko, the Miko fella at Tennessee. Facts are facts, sir. Well, I know that you love you some Klubnik, sir. So if we ever get a bedazzled Klubnik shirt, we'll send them your way. No problem.
I got a serious question for Kentucky. Did Brock Vandergrift's girlfriend break up? Are they back together or what? Because that's going to determine the game.
We're not fielding questions for Kentucky. They're fucking a dead program right now. If you want to talk hoops with Mark, we'll be happy to have those questions. Other than that, I'm not going to take questions for Kentucky. After the way their fucking fans acted in here and ran their dick suckers about, oh, they're going to win and
then disappeared.
Then they disappeared like fucking.
They ran off. I
You
don't
know,
see
What a
them.
damn fart in the whirlwind.
Did y'all
Where'd
know
they-
that
where'd they go?
Doran, after his press conference,
Not taking,
he didn't give Tennessee any.
I'm not taking questions on NC State either. They were running their dick suckers on their message board about how we match up really well with Tennessee. Do you? Do you really?
Do you really?
Doran was even professional enough to give them a little credit. He didn't give them
That's why
anything.
that's why we don't have NC State fans in here because they don't want that. They don't want to deal with that shit.
No, but I haven't seen many show out on here. You know,
There's not many of
I
them
mean,
on the
you-
internet,
you
period.
still-
Hold on. This guy, Kentucky guy, was waiting to come on and thinks that I didn't put him on because I didn't want to talk about football. I would have brought you on, and then we would have laughed at you. It was just I had other people that were ahead of you, sir. And I damn sure would have laughed at you if you would have came in here talking about Mark Pope's going to lead us to the promised land. You lost one of the biggest cheaters in college basketball history.
That's
A
fact.
guy that had lottery picks lined up to the end of time. And y'all couldn't keep him there. He decided it would be better to go to fucking Arkansas and play and coach than to play the coach for you.
Well,
Your
that's the
entire
trivia-
athletic program is a ball of shit. So, sorry.
That's a trivia question about Calipari. What school did he leave in his career that when he left was never on sanctions or probation? Name me the school.
Kentucky, but it's Kentucky because they
So
haven't been
far.
sanctioned yet, but give
Give
them
them time. Give
I
them
think
time.
something we can all agree on is
All right.
when students decided
Move on,
to
gotta
apply
move
for
on, man.
Texas A&M.
Do
Yeah.
what?
When
Stoops
students
is
decided to try to get the Texas A&M job, he gave up on Kentucky, and I think the fans gave up on him.
Well, anyway.
Well, I mean, they can't blame him for he was trying to better
He
himself.
was trying to better himself. I agree.
And nobody talks about Texas A&M. That was horse shit. I mean, they offered the guy the damn job, and then they renege on him. That ain't right either.
Yeah, but you still look at that like, well, he was willing to leave. You know, I know how it would be if I was a fan for Kentucky. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, damn, the coach was willing to throw us out under the bus. You know, so
Under the bush.
Now Big Bonnie Ross thinks that I hate
under
Kentucky.
the
I don't
Jack
hate
Pie,
Kentucky.
you know what the bush
I hate
is.
the assholes
You know
that
what
were
the
in
bush
here the
is.
other day.
Hey,
All right,
Big Barney
gentlemen,
Ross, do you
it's
know what-
getting
do you know
late.
what-
I gotta bring in-
I got to ask, do you know what 84 and 29 means, Big Barney Ross? And I'll leave you on that.
Okay, well, there you go. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Big
I'm
guys.
glad
Bonnie
you
Ross-
enjoyed your Arby's there, Christopher. That's funny. Last caller of the evening here. What's up, buddy?
Hey,
What
how
is
y'all
your
doing
problem?
tonight?
Did
No,
you
I was
forget to
just
turn on
muting.
your headset, you fucking simpleton? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, man. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing tonight?
Better
What
than
you
we
got?
deserve.
I hear that. Well, I came in to drop some knowledge tonight, all right? And that's what I'm shooting for. Y'all ready for this?
Hey,
So,
hold on. I want to make sure Jackpot and I gave 4 picks that we're very confident about. You should go and bet those. That way you'll have power next week.
yeah, I was listening to those. It was what? Texas State, Coastal, who was it? Virginia, Jackpot gave.
Yeah.
He
Yep, and Boston College.
You know, another game I was looking at, I think could be a closer game than people are thinking, is that Oklahoma Tulane game. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah.
I mean, they gave Ole Miss a fucking battle up until the fourth quarter last year. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah. They gave Kansas State a battle last week.
I think that one could. I think I was looking at the spread. It was only like 13.5.
Yeah,
I think that's
that
got
could be
Vegas trap written all over it.
that one could go the other way. Because
Yeah.
Oklahoma didn't show good. They didn't look good against Houston last week. Houston's terrible.
No, and so many teams have been jumping up and biting these supposed ranked teams up in the ass early. I mean, so far this year, it seems a bit crazier than any college football season I've seen in the past maybe decade.
Well,
What do y'all think
Rob
about it?
seems to think Boston College is going to keep it close with Mizzou. I think it's going to be a paddle fest.
Brady Cook or Missouri leads or they might not lead, but they're top 5 in the country in completions, or a completion percentage, I should say.
Jackpot
'Cause
just gives me reasons to play this.
That's a peddling.
I just love that clip. That's a peddling. That's from The Simpsons a long time ago.
That's a peddling.
I love that shit.
Well, I was
Anyway.
researching some stats for the LSU game. Jackpot, did you know Nessmeyer is tied for the lead in the country in passing touchdowns?
I didn't, but yeah, I can believe it.
Yep,
He also
is.
hasn't been sacked. There's
Yep.
that too.
Well, another thing I wanted to talk about as well, because a lot of people talk about our defensive line, rightfully so, but this defense has really been a turnover machine. I was looking at it. We're 3rd in the country in turnovers gained.
Yeah. They forced 4 turnovers against ODU.
Yeah, and then 2 versus Kentucky.
Yeah, they picked 6 against Kentucky and then another interception. So,
I think that's really the strength of the defense that not a lot of people are talking about. Is that back end. I think we can
That's
hopefully
a peddling.
cost. Come on, Rob.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
I
Rob.
fucking love that sound clip. That shit makes me happy.
But yeah, I'm
Oh,
excited. I hope there's some rain, man. I really do. I think, like you were saying, Jackpot, with our style, I think a muddy field, slipping around, I think that suits us. We want to really run the ball. I mean, that's what we're set up to do. So,
Yeah,
I think
all
you're
right,
spot on that.
Are you
Well,
you making
we
a
are.
today?
Yeah, we're dangerously close to possibly becoming a southeast version of Iowa if we keep it up with this defense.
Oh, that was another thing I saw. Iowa.
They win games, so yeah. I mean,
Well, Iowa's minus 21 right now. I don't think they're capable of scoring 21 points.
Jack, I gotta read Billy's comment. Just remember SEC bias before you use rain as an excuse. It'll be raining on LSU side too.
I don't think that's what he was. I don't think that's what he meant when he was talking about the rain, Billy.
Tennessee fans, after they bitched about rain at fucking Athens 2 years ago, really don't get to talk about that.
They're always bringing up something about talking about some excuses.
Mhm.
Nobody's using it for an excuse.
That's the thing. I come on here and I own my losses. All right, I've been around here for a while. I own my losses. Billy doesn't seem to realize that yet. I guess that's because we're undefeated so far. But hopefully we can continue that. I think I think we're gonna get a solid turnout. I saw something. I don't know if y'all saw this. It was a record turnout for student requests for tickets. It was like over 20,000.
Damn.
So I say pack as many fucking students in there as you can.
I'm in the camp of you should have more students there than fucking assholes that are paying.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit tons of fucking money to be there anyway, or corporate snobs. I'd rather have fucking students there across the country.
At least pack out the lower bowl with students. I mean, you can put. I'm fine with people buying tickets in the upper deck, but if you can get that many students to pack out the lower bowl, I mean, that's going to cause some sort of problem.
It should be that way for basketball too, but I understand you have to make money, etc. But the idea of, hey, you're a student here, you pay an activities fee that's like $2,000 a semester, but you can't go to a fucking football game because we have to get fucking 70-year-old white man in here fucking him and his buddies, they're going to give us $8 million so they get seats and you don't. That's the mentality.
Well, and that's exactly how it went. I was looking at the tickets before the Kentucky game. I want to say they hovered around, $40-50. Right now, you can't get one cheaper than 120.
To be fair, there are some entrepreneurial students who are like, I get a ticket, I can sell that motherfucker, which is why you end up having 50-year-old dudes sitting in the fucking student section.
That's true too.
They're not there because they're students, but
I just hope it doesn't turn out like the last noon game that we had at Williams-Brice, the SEC game.
Well, the thing that gives me hope is
last time we did this, Stetson Bennett was taking selfies with the cheerleaders.
It's a peddling.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, that was brutal.
He was. He may have been fucking him on the sidelines too, because he didn't play the fourth quarter. He had enough time to break a couple
on a step ladder, but
yeah, Kirby Smart tends to.
They could put that step ladder in that medical tent there, and he could bang a couple of whores and go about his merry way. Then take pictures with them afterwards. I impregnated that whore and that whore and that whore. Now I'm going back to Athens.
Well, what are you seeing in your Florida State pick, Kale? Because I remembered you said you were never picking Florida State again. I think that was like a year ago.
They've had a week off. I don't know. I mean, I just think it's time for them to get right. I mean,
well, listen.
Mike Norvell has knowledge of this program.
Is the only thing that's gonna jumpstart this offense is a benching of Uyunglele, and I'm not sure Mike Norvell has the nuts to do it at this point. If he hasn't done it already,
he's better if he wants to keep a job.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
hold on. Did you seen the clip where they're playing with squirt guns at practice? Right, I showed that earlier.
No, I didn't see that. I came in a little later.
Go back and
players. I think it was a trainer.
That's an absolute joke.
Players are on the field getting shot with fucking water guns. Fucking clowns.
Well, I mean, they can't help what's coming up behind them. Look,
that's a culture thing too.
They have the clown college down there. Maybe one of the clown students got out and ran on the field with his gun.
I think he keeps on farting up winning these games. He's gonna get bitched for Cotton Glen.
Well, and another thing I wanted to touch on is
he's got a mullet too.
It felt good to see Beamer finally get to strut his stuff, man. After all the fucking hate this man's been getting, he looked 5 years younger in that post-game press conference versus Kentucky. I mean, I think this could be a really good win for him. This LSU game, though, this is going to be the prove-it game for the team to see what we got. I mean, if we go out there and get blown out, I mean,
it's a pad.
Yeah, you know what kind of year we're going to have. But if we go in, I say even if we lose, but if we keep it close, I think that's a good result. Even if we lose and keep it close, I think that's a good result for the team. That's something you can build on, especially with the shit we had last year.
Bias. Very good. You like moral victories.
No, I don't want that. I mean, it's a 7-point spread, and they're capable of winning this game. They just got to figure out. They've got to figure out a way. They've got to get They got to get pressure on that quarterback. They got to force him into they've got to get him out of his comfort zone. Yeah, because he's used to being able to just stand back there in the pocket and just pick everything apart that he wants to and not face any pressure. If these two defensive ends are really, really that good, they'll get a couple of sacks. They're not going to have 4 or 5 sacks like they did against Ole Miss. But if they can have 2, sometimes just getting pressure,
speeding it up,
almost as good as getting a sack. Because if you're getting a sack, you're just putting them on the ground, getting pressure on them. You can force them into an interception with that.
Exactly. Let's see Nussmeier actually move around a little bit and see if he's going to be as accurate in throwing all these touchdown passes.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. LSU is not going to run the ball. I was looking at it. Every stat they're predominant in is passing the ball. They lead the SEC in completions. Nussmeier leads the country in touchdowns thrown. So I mean, I don't think they're going to run the ball. I think we're going to look at an LSU team that comes in and
Yeah, I
tries
mean,
to
they don't
throw
have
it.
a running back, or at least, I mean, I don't know who it is. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come in and try and throw it 30 times. I'm less worried about the defense and more worried about. I think this is a game where we got to see Lenoris throw for at least 150, 180.
Yeah, he's got to
through the
show
air.
that he's him.
Yeah. I think we're looking at if Lenoris doesn't give us at least 150 through the pass and about maybe 50 through the rush, it's going to be a tough game to win. I don't see a pathway to win.
Speaking of stats here, scoring offense, LSU is 13th in the conference. Scoring defense, they are dead last in the conference for total defense. So I'm just reading you the stats.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I mean, this is from, I'll share this really quick before we get out of here. These are from the SEC website here. Let's see here. Hold on, please. Anyway, I can't get up here. But, let's see here. Let's just share the whole screen. All right, here we go. Nope, not that one. This one. Okay. So anyway, yeah, you look at the stats here. Oh, that's weird. Hold on.
Oh, you're on the YouTube as well.
Yeah,
no,
I got
tab over.
No, I'm showing the whole screen. So hold on a second. Let's see. No, not that one. Where did it go? Well, anyway, the whole point is stop showing that. It's annoying. The whole point is that the stats show that they have the defense that is, according total defense, is last in the conference. Scoring defense is next to last in the conference. They're middle of the pack as far as total offensive plays. So there's that.
I'm optimistic. I don't know how y'all are feeling about it. Which, by the way, Rob, I didn't talk about it with you. What do you think is the discussion with Clemson going into the bye week this week? I'll get a little off topic here.
Nobody get arrested.
Nobody get arrested. Do you think they're what'd you see from so I heard you talking with Schultz about you think just App State was shit, but you had to have been a little happy about that game.
No, I just think they're shit. I don't think they're worth a shit. So
well, that's fair.
We'll have to see how it goes. Clemson's got a bye week, and that's all that matters there.
When's your next kind of test? What week does that fall?
Florida State. They play NC State, the Tree, and then Florida State as far as talent on the field. But I think when they play Florida State, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think you're going to beat the fuck out of them. I mean, everybody's gonna take a chunk of flesh from Florida State this year. I mean, talk about has there been a team that's been that good last year that's fallen off this hard? I don't think I can think of one.
I don't know.
No, I truly don't. And it's all because of DJ Uwe fucking Ungole, man.
When is Clemson's next game? Is it next Saturday?
Next Saturday at high noon against NC State, and then they play the Tree, and then go to Florida State.
Well, Tree might get you.
I'm telling you, the Tree. I saw there's a video you can go look online of Stanford's home opener. They maybe had 26 people in the fucking stands. It was the most shameful turnout I've ever seen.
That was they played TCU.
It was so bad.
Yeah, it was half empty.
But
somebody was making it. What did they say on the Mazodcast?
What'd they say to your voicemails, by the way?
What's that?
The voicemails.
The Mazodcast. What'd they say to your voicemails? I got to go back and watch that, I guess.
They played my voicemails, but they were talking about what's their name? Excuse me. Cal Berkeley beating Auburn this past weekend. They said, I mean, what do they do after they score a touchdown? Burn an American flag? Because Cal Berkeley is like really extremely freaking radical. I mean, it's like almost unhinged radical. and they said so they burn an American flag every time they score a touchdown there.
Yeah, they're not gonna have too many jet flyovers and spangled banners.
Yeah, no.
I'll tell you what, though, still to this day, I'll never understand the decision to get two teams in fucking California and throw them in the ACC and just say fuck it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't pick up the Oregon and Washington State while they were at it and add them to the damn mix.
Yeah, might as well just been Pac-12 2.0.
Might as well. I mean, why not? Why not? They're right there. Reach up and grab them.
But yeah, what do you you think we're going to see any surprises in this LSU game? I know you're going into it kind of pessimistic. I mean, what are you looking for to kind of light the Carolina jackpot fucking lantern?
I mean, they got to develop some kind of big boy passing attack.
I don't disagree with you there. Do you think it's well, me personally, I think it's coming down to Lenoris. I don't think it's really scheme at this point. But I mean, he showed flashes. That play he made where he rolled out of the pocket and hit I think it was Brown on the sideline on a third down.
The first play of the game?
No, later in the game, it was like a third down.
Yeah, and he delivered a dime there. I think it was in the first half. I mean, the Kentucky defensive back, his hands are outstretched. I mean, he just kind of.
That's what I'm saying. You see that, and then you see him overthrow somebody by 5 yards. You know, what Lenoris are we going to get is what's really going to determine this game.
Yeah, and then Harbor, he had a guy beat on a deep route. And
on that PI.
Yeah, they called pass interference on him. So instead of 45 or 50 yards,
I don't know what happened to them here.
So.
What do you mean, Rob? You can't see us?
There you go.
You there?
All right. Anyway, my internet dropped there. Yeah, my internet dropped there for a second. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're okay. Actually, the stream didn't end. You had like a continuous.
I don't know what happened there. My whole my internet just fell off. It just said not connected. But what the fuck's going on here? Anyway, look, we'll see how that game goes, man. All right, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Thank
Horns
you.
down, go Cox. Hey, best D line in the fucking country. We're coming for the title, baby. Go Cox.
Woo!
What title are you going for? I mean, which one? You know. Honestly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys as always, and hey, you know, a bunch of good games this weekend. Jackpot will be doing the live stream. That's coming your way. Make sure you check that out. And
coming your way at high noon on Saturday.
Yeah, you're gonna start right at noon, Jackpot. Is that when you're starting?
Yes, that's when the game is, isn't it?
High noon. Jackpot starts the stream. Don't be late. If you do,
it's a paddling.
It's a pad. What else is a paddling? Let me know what's going to happen before it happens. I stream the game. And there's a little bit of a delay, so if you tell me what, there you go. You get kicked off.
I think that's the best part of Jackpot stream is him getting pissed off because somebody tells him what happens beforehand.
I did it the other day. I got rid of one. I was trying to fucking kick him off, and they wouldn't let me. I don't know what was going on with that. So one of the blue wrenches handled it, and they just kicked him off.
All right. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you later.